Good morning, Chevra, or good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is that you are listening to this. Welcome to another episode of the Davening Experience. Today, we have, Baruch Hashem, our first question on one of the previous clips. This comes from my good friend, Adam Zeltzer. Yesterday, we spoke about the experience of bowing. And when we spoke about bowing, we said that bowing is a response to a sense of the presence of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So he asked a very good question. He says, well, then why is it that we bend our knees when we say Baruch, and we actually bow when we say the word Atah? According to what you're saying, it should be that we're bowing at already the word Baruch. Why are we only bending our knees? So this is what I want to talk about today. The truth is that there are different minhagim, but one minhag is that we don't always bow and bend our knees. In other words, there are two times in Shemona Esrei that we bow down. One time is whenever we have specific brachas that we say Baruch Atah Hashem, and we know that we bend our knees at Baruch and we bow down at Atah, and we come back up slowly for the name of Hashem, that we should be basically standing already when we say Hashem's name. But there's another time that we bow in the Shemona Esrei as well, and that's in Modim. Modim Anachnu Lach, many have the minhag that we do not bend our knees. So in fact, all we do is we just bow straight down when we say Modim Anachnu Lach. So what's that all about? So Modim is different. Modim is complete submission. It's the idea of recognizing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the source of all of the good that we have. So in Yirtz Hashem, we will come back to the idea of Modim a little bit later on. But for now, the idea is that we're not saying Baruch. We're not trying to bring an experience of HaKadosh Baruch Hu into the world with Modim. We are simply thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all of the things that He does for us. So it's simply a Modim Anachnu Lach, an admission that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the source of all of the good that we have. What's the difference between that and a Baracha when we say Baruch Atah Hashem? So Baruch really means we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu to, so to speak, bend down into our world. We're asking Him to, so to speak, bend His knees. And many times when we want to bring a spiritual reality into the physical world, we imitate it or we do something in the physical world to make it happen. You find this by nisim, that there always has to be a miracle starter, something in the physical world that gets a nace to begin. And you find it a lot by the Nevi'im, that Hashem would tell one of the Nevi'im, put shackles on, put a yoke on, to demonstrate that that's actually what's about to happen in the world. When it comes to tashlich that we do on Rosh Hashanah, that we go to a body of water and we say a pasuk that has to do with a Kadosh Baruch Hu getting rid of all of our averos into the water. So we do a physical manifestation or representation of what we want to happen in the physical world. So perhaps here too, that's the best answer, is that whenever we say Baruch, what we're really asking is a Kadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, to bend his knees, to come down into our world. So we do the same thing. We bend our knees as if we are bringing a Kadosh Baruch Hu with our action into the world. We're bending him down and bringing him into the world. But the manifestation of a Kadosh Baruch Hu in front of us is when we say the word Atah. Then when we say Atah, we say you. Now that's a very strange thing to say to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. We would say him, the Rosh Hashiva. When we speak often, we change person to create a distance between us and the person we're speaking to when we want to put them on a pedestal. When we want to show submissiveness, we never would say you. We would say, what does the Rav think? The Rosh Hashiva. We would change the person. What does the king think? His Majesty. We don't say your Highness. Oh, Your Highness. How can you say that? His Highness. So in any case, the idea that we're actually referring to Kadosh Baruch Hu as you means that there's a very, very close relationship, one that breaks barriers of distance. Because of that, the manifestation of a Kadosh Baruch Hu is with the word Atah. So when we say Baruch, we should feel that what we're doing is bringing HaKadosh Baruch Hu into the world, and we bend our knees for that reason. And when we say the word Atah, that's when we begin to bow down, because Atah is when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is actually manifest in front of us. But when we say Hashem's name, we want to give it the proper kavod of standing straight at attention. When we hear the name of Hashem, it's something that invokes a greater sense of kedusha, a sense of we have to come to attention, and we're already back. When we say Hashem's name, we want to already be standing straight up. So we bend our knees at Baruch to bring a Kadosh Baruch Hu into the world. The recognition of the closeness that He has with us right now results in our bowing in a submissive state. And then we say his very, very special name that we have the zuchus to say. We want to be upright and straight as if we're at attention. And now we are standing in front of the name that we just said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. Hatzlacha.